There are advantages to starting a YouTube channel that you probably don't even think about, specifically the voyage of self-discovery. Now, in my opinion, even if you don't start your channel to get rich,
Yeah, right.
it's worth doing it for this reason alone. Now, what do I mean by a voyage of self-discovery? Great question, and I'm really glad that you asked it. When you reach my age, and I really hope that you do, or if you're there already, well done, some people start thinking about what they've missed in life because there's a limited time left. Many, and particularly the smart ones, some may call them smug, who had a proper job and paid into a pension think it fun to see the parts of the world that they've never seen, preferably in some comfort, so they go on a cruise. And why not? You see the Northern Lights, the Caribbean islands, the penguins of Antarctica, you jostle through crowds in Venice, New York and Ibiza. And you can purchase genuine, locally made fridge magnets from as far afield as Shanghai, Buenos Aires and Cape Town.
And you take an awful lot of photographs.
But some look at the world and wonder if, in some way, they can make a small contribution before it's too late. Maybe doing some charity work or writing the book they'd always planned. And YouTube gives you an opportunity to contribute. You can throw your hat into the ring, share your point of view. And you never know, someone, somewhere, sometime may stumble across your video and gain some value from it.
Yeah, right.
But you have to figure out what you want to say. And the very fact that you have to come up with something focuses your mind and you start to think, who am I? Now, I can't say it will be the same for you, but if you are thinking about starting, I suggest you make yourself a promise. Tell yourself that you'll upload, say, 10 videos in the next month or two, and make sure you keep that promise and see where it leads you. You don't have to leave them up if you don't want to. You don't need to tell anyone you're doing it. In fact, I recommend that you don't. And whatever else you do, don't expect them to attract much attention. But if you take the project seriously, you could be surprised by what you discover about yourself, and it could help you find where you should be going, even if that's in a completely different direction altogether. But you have to follow certain rules for this to work. You have to search for your niche. And in all of my videos so far, and I'm only 2 or 3 months in, I'm constantly trying to figure out what my niche is. To some, and again I think I'm a bit envious, their niche is obvious. You know, the woodworker who loves showing students how to make furniture, the film editor who can teach you everything you need to know about specific software. But I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking that I don't fit neatly into any such category. There will always be someone far better than I to teach a software program, and just about everyone is already better than me at woodwork. And that's the point when you start to focus on who, at your very heart, you are. You find yourself at a sort of crossroads, and I think if you recognise this, it can only be to the good. So where do you go? You may have not yet found your niche specifically, but you have to choose the direction that you should go in order to find it. You know that thing when you're standing on top of a cliff looking out to sea on a clear day, and on the distant horizon you can actually see the curvature of the earth? Well, that's a bit like getting old because you can start to see the curvature of time. For example, I was born just 14 years after the Second World War, in a time of massive change. In the 60s, the world was rebelling against the mistakes and the horrors of the first half of the 20th century. The time of free love and liberalism and all that. I mean, I was at school, so I didn't see too much of it. We didn't get free love, although we did get free milk. And as for liberalism, well, our teachers would smack us on our legs with a ruler if we did anything wrong. You can't do that these days. But we lived in a time that was moving away from world wars. And I don't want to get too dark, but it feels now as if we're on the other side of that curve and we're heading back into the storm. And how did that happen? The other day I was watching an interview with Andrew Scaramucci on YouTube. He was talking about the very real danger that the world finds itself in at the moment, and I glanced over to the thumbnails of options open to me to watch next. They included the usual, you know, how to make it on YouTube videos, how to get 1 million views in less than 2 weeks, etc. Along with pictures of shorts, you know, funny videos, dance routines, or the 1,000 worst fails, or how to get your cat to sing in 3 easy steps. And I thought, comedy looks really rather silly compared to this. And then I started to wonder if that perhaps instead of the direction I would normally take, which is towards comedy, and if I can find a way to get there, comedy drama, maybe I should be looking at creating content aimed at pointing out the horrors that we're all facing.
I mean, that's not going to happen. Well, I don't think it is.
You know, we're all so busy entertaining each other with funny faces that we don't see the dark clouds blowing in behind us. But it has focused my mind on who I am and what I want to do with this. Surely my final career change. Do I want a channel at all? I mean, it's an awful lot of work, and I'm really not sure how some of the content creators manage it. It's so easy on other platforms to dash off expressions of hate and a few swear words at someone you disagree with, and that's generally not the way of most YouTube creators, in my experience. Even if your message isn't a positive one, you have to have some element of creativity to produce it. It should be a positive and a creative place. So, if you are creative by nature, I recommend starting a channel. You'll be surprised at how it focuses your creativity. And if you don't think of yourself as creative, I still say you should give it a go. It doesn't matter if the lighting is rubbish and the sound is no good. You can fix those things later. There's an analogy here with drama training. I went to drama school, but I thought it crazy that everyone seems to do some kind of drama training these days. There can't be that amount of work for actors. But when someone pointed out to me that they don't all want to be actors, but that doing drama gives them a confidence to use in whatever career they go into, well, that made perfect sense. It's like that with a channel. You learn a lot just by doing it, but taking it seriously for a while. It shows you what's possible for you. Now, as for my own niche, I don't know. Let's see what kind of videos I'm making in 4 years. 4 years? I know. By the way, you'll only ever find out if you subscribe, so come on, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just one click. I hope to see you next time.